There comes a time in the life of every people when the night seems endless, when injustice stands tall like a mountain, and when the winds of doubt whisper that change is impossible. But history has shown us something greater, that even in the darkest hour, hope rises. And when hope rises, it does not walk alone. It marches, it sings, it struggles, and ultimately it writes our names in history. Hope is not a fragile emotion that appears when life is easy or when circumstances are favorable. It does not grow in comfort, nor does it flourish in seasons of abundance alone. Hope is born in struggle. It emerges when individuals and communities face hardship, oppression, uncertainty, and pain, yet choose to believe that change is possible. Struggle creates the conditions that force people to look beyond present suffering and imagine a better tomorrow. Throughout history, every major movement for justice has risen from difficulty. When people were denied freedom, dignity, or equality, they did not discover hope in comfort. They discovered it in resistance. The civil rights movement, for example, was shaped by years of discrimination and injustice. It was in the face of segregation, violence, and inequality that people found the courage to hope for transformation. Struggle sharpened their vision and strengthened their determination. Without the pressure of injustice, the fire of hope might never have burned so brightly. Struggle reveals the depth of human resilience. When individuals encounter obstacles, they are forced to confront their fears and limitations. In this confrontation, something powerful begins to form. Hope is not blind optimism that ignores reality. It is the conscious decision to believe that reality can be changed. In moments of hardship, people begin to see possibilities they might never have noticed in times of ease. The pain of struggle often awakens a desire for growth, progress, and justice that comfort alone cannot inspire. On a personal level, hope is often discovered during life's most difficult seasons. A student who fails an important exam may feel discouraged, but within that disappointment lies the opportunity to improve and rise stronger. A family facing financial hardship may find unity and determination they never knew they possessed. Individuals battling illness often speak of discovering inner strength and a renewed appreciation for life. In each case, struggle becomes the soil in which hope takes root. Struggle also builds solidarity among people. When individuals experience hardship together, they develop empathy and understanding. Shared suffering can unite communities and inspire collective action. Hope grows stronger when it is shared, when people encourage one another and stand side by side against adversity. The very challenges that threaten to divide can instead create bonds of cooperation and mutual support. Furthermore, struggle gives hope its authenticity. If everything were easy, hope would carry little meaning. It is valuable precisely because it survives difficulty. The greater the challenge, the more powerful hope becomes. It transforms from a simple desire into a determined belief that fuels perseverance. In the presence of obstacles, hope is tested, refined, and strengthened. Struggle does not guarantee success, but it creates the possibility for growth and transformation. It pushes people to think creatively, act courageously, and refuse surrender. In this process, hope is not merely felt, it is built, nurtured, and sustained through effort and conviction. The hardships that seem overwhelming often become the very experiences that shape character, ignite passion, and inspire lasting change. Hope is a powerful force, but on its own it remains an idea, a vision of what could be rather than what is. It lives in the heart and the mind, inspiring dreams of justice, progress, and change. Yet hope without courage can remain silent and inactive. Courage is the bridge between believing in a better future and taking the steps necessary to create it. It transforms hope from a quiet wish into meaningful action. Courage begins when fear is acknowledged but not allowed to rule. Every effort to create change carries risk. Speaking out against injustice may invite criticism or opposition. Standing up for what is right may lead to isolation or sacrifice. Fear naturally arises in such moments, but courage does not mean the absence of fear. It means choosing to act despite it. When individuals decide that their hope is stronger than their fear, they begin to move from intention to action. Throughout history, progress has depended on courageous individuals who refuse to let hope remain passive. Leaders and ordinary citizens alike have faced threats, imprisonment, and hardship because they believe deeply in a cause. Their hope for equality, freedom, and dignity compelled them to organize marches, deliver speeches, write letters, and challenge unfair systems. Without courage, their hope would have remained private and powerless. With courage, it became a force capable of reshaping laws and transforming societies. On a personal level, courage is just as essential. A student may hope to succeed academically, but it takes courage to ask questions, seek help, and persist after failure. An employee may hope for career advancement, but it requires courage to pursue new opportunities, develop skills, and step outside familiar routines. In relationships, people may hope for understanding and reconciliation, yet it takes courage to communicate honestly and address conflict. In each case, hope sets the direction, and courage provides the movement. Courage also gives hope credibility. When individuals are willing to act on their beliefs, they demonstrate commitment. Words alone may inspire briefly, but actions build trust and momentum. Courageous action signals that hope is not merely sentimental or idealistic. It is serious and determined. Each small act of bravery strengthens confidence and encourages others to follow. One person's courage can spark collective action, turning individual hope into shared purpose. Moreover, courage sustains effort over time. Change rarely happens instantly. Obstacles, setbacks, and resistance are common along the journey. In these moments, hope may begin to waver. Courage provides the resilience to continue striving even when progress appears slow. It reminds individuals that meaningful transformation often requires persistence and sacrifice. Courage transforms hope into action by converting belief into behavior. It pushes people beyond comfort and challenges them to align their actions with their values. It demands integrity, perseverance, and a willingness to face uncertainty. Through courageous choices, hope gains strength and visibility, becoming a living force that shapes decisions and influences outcomes. Where hope imagines a better world, courage begins the work of building it. Hope is powerful when it lives within one heart, but it becomes unstoppable when it lives within many. Unity is the strength that gives hope its endurance, its volume, and its impact. When individuals come together around a shared vision of justice, progress, or change, their combined belief creates momentum that no single person could generate alone. Unity transforms scattered hopes into a collective force capable of shaping history. Throughout societies, division has often weakened movements and delayed progress. Differences in background, opinion, culture, or status can create barriers that prevent cooperation. Yet when people choose to focus on common goals rather than personal differences, hope grows stronger. Unity does not require uniformity, it requires shared purpose. Individuals may bring different perspectives and experiences, but when they stand together for a greater cause, those differences become sources of strength rather than conflict. In times of struggle, unity provides encouragement. When challenges seem overwhelming, knowing that others share the same vision restores confidence and determination. A single voice calling for change may feel isolated, but a chorus of voices cannot be easily ignored. Collective hope amplifies courage and reduces fear. It reminds each individual that they are not alone in their desire for something better. Historical movements for social change demonstrate the power of unity. When communities organized peacefully to demand civil rights, fair treatment, and equal opportunity, their unity sent a message that transcended individual circumstances. Workers standing together have secured improved conditions. Citizens joining together have influenced laws and policies. Students uniting around shared concerns have reshaped institutions. In each case, hope gained strength because it was shared and supported by many rather than carried by one. Unity also builds trust and understanding. When people collaborate toward a shared goal, they learn to listen, respect differing viewpoints, and value cooperation. This mutual respect strengthens relationships and fosters empathy. Hope thrives in environments where people feel connected and valued. Division weakens morale and scatters effort, but unity aligns energy and directs it toward meaningful progress. On a personal level, unity strengthens hope within families, workplaces, and communities. A family facing hardship finds resilience when its members support one another. A team working toward a common objective achieves more when individuals cooperate rather than compete destructively. Communities recovering from crisis rebuild more effectively when residents work side by side. In each situation, unity multiplies the impact of hope and increases the likelihood of positive outcomes. Unity requires humility and compromise. It asks individuals to place collective well-being above personal pride. It involves patience, communication, and a willingness to collaborate. When people invest in maintaining unity, they protect the strength of their shared hope. Disagreements may arise, but commitment to common purpose keeps progress moving forward. Hope gains power when it is no longer confined to isolated hearts. Through unity, it becomes visible in action, organized in effort, and sustained through mutual support. A united community stands firm in the face of adversity, drawing strength from shared belief and collective determination. In unity, hope finds its greatest expression and its strongest foundation. Hope often begins with a vision of something better, a belief that circumstances can change and that justice, healing, or progress is possible. Yet when adversity grows intense and obstacles seem unmovable, hope can weaken under pressure. It is faith that sustains hope through adversity. Faith provides the inner assurance that even when evidence is limited and outcomes are uncertain, perseverance still carries meaning and purpose. Adversity tests the strength of human belief. When individuals face loss, rejection, hardship, or injustice, doubt naturally arises. Questions emerge about whether efforts will succeed or whether change will ever come. In such moments, hope alone may feel fragile. Faith strengthens it by grounding hope in something deeper than immediate results. Faith allows individuals to trust that their struggles are not in vain, even when progress is slow or invisible. Faith does not require the absence of hardship. Instead, it acknowledges hardship while refusing to surrender to it. It teaches patience when solutions are delayed and resilience when challenges multiply. In times of social struggle, faith has often been the spiritual and moral anchor that kept communities steady. When people faced discrimination, violence, or oppression, their faith affirmed that dignity and justice were greater than temporary suffering. This conviction allowed them to continue marching, organizing, and speaking out despite resistance. On a personal level, faith sustains hope during life's most difficult chapters. A person enduring illness may not see immediate healing, yet faith provides strength to endure treatment and maintain optimism. Someone experiencing professional setbacks may not see immediate opportunity, yet faith encourages continued effort and self-improvement. Families navigating financial hardship may not have instant solutions, yet faith fosters unity and perseverance. In each situation, faith prevents hope from fading under pressure. Faith also offers perspective. Adversity often narrows vision, causing individuals to focus only on immediate pain or disappointment. faith widens that vision, reminding people that present struggles are part of a larger journey. It encourages trust in long-term growth rather than short-term comfort. By shifting focus from temporary difficulty to enduring purpose, faith protects hope from despair. Moreover, faith strengthens character. Challenges reveal inner strengths that comfort never demands. Through adversity, individuals develop patience, humility, empathy, and resilience. Faith supports this development by reinforcing the belief that hardship can produce growth. When people believe that their struggles contribute to deeper wisdom or stronger character, they are more willing to endure them with courage. Faith can also be shared within communities. When individuals encourage one another and remind each other of shared values and convictions, collective hope is reinforced. Words of encouragement, spiritual practices, and shared traditions become sources of comfort and motivation. Together, faith and hope create a powerful partnership that resists discouragement and sustains effort. Adversity may shake confidence and challenge resolve, but faith steadies the heart. It nurtures hope when circumstances threaten to extinguish it and provides the strength to continue striving when results remain unseen. Through faith, hope remains alive, resilient, and capable of enduring even the most difficult trials. Love is often misunderstood as a soft or passive emotion, something gentle but powerless in the face of injustice or conflict. Yet history and human experience reveal a deeper truth. Love is the foundation of lasting change. While anger may ignite a movement and force may impose temporary control, only love has the power to transform hearts, rebuild relationships, and create change that endures across generations. Lasting change requires more than external adjustment. It requires internal transformation. Laws can be rewritten, policies can be revised, and systems can be restructured. But if bitterness and hatred remain in the human heart, division will continue in new forms. Love addresses the root of conflict by affirming the dignity and worth of every person. It challenges injustice without dehumanizing the opponent. In doing so, it opens the possibility for reconciliation rather than revenge. Throughout movements for justice, love has proven to be a revolutionary force. Leaders who advocated nonviolence understood that responding to hatred with hatred only deepens wounds. Love, expressed through compassion, patience, and moral courage, breaks cycles of retaliation. It refuses to mirror cruelty and instead exposes it. When individuals choose love over hostility, they demonstrate strength that cannot be easily defeated. Love disarms prejudice by refusing to accept division as permanent. Love also fosters empathy, which is essential for meaningful progress. When people begin to see others not as enemies, but as fellow human beings with fears, hopes, and struggles, understanding becomes possible. Empathy reduces hostility and encourages dialogue. Through honest conversation and mutual respect, solutions can emerge that honor the needs of all parties. Without love, discussions become battles for dominance. With love, they become opportunities for shared growth. On a personal level, love is equally transformative. In families, workplaces, and communities, conflicts are inevitable. Differences in opinion and personality can create tension. However, when love guides responses, individuals choose forgiveness over resentment and cooperation over pride. Relationships strengthened by love are more resilient because they are built on trust and care rather than fear or obligation. Such relationships provide stability that supports long-term harmony. Love also requires courage and discipline. It is easier to react with anger when wronged than to respond with patience and understanding. Choosing love in difficult moments demands self-control and moral clarity. It calls for the willingness to listen, to learn, and sometimes to sacrifice personal comfort for the well-being of others. This discipline strengthens character and builds communities grounded in mutual respect. Furthermore, love inspires service. When individuals genuinely care about the welfare of others, they are motivated to work for improvement. Acts of kindness, advocacy, mentorship, and support all grow from a foundation of love. These actions create ripples that extend beyond immediate circumstances, influencing future generations. Change built on fear or coercion may achieve compliance, but it rarely produces loyalty or trust. Change built on love nurtures unity, restores dignity, and plants seeds of peace that continue to grow. Love shapes not only outcomes, but also the spirit in which those outcomes are achieved, ensuring that progress is not only visible, but deeply rooted in the hearts of people. Legacy is not created in moments of ease or comfort. It is shaped through persistence, sacrifice, and unwavering determination. Those who leave a lasting mark on history are not necessarily the most talented or the most fortunate, but the ones who refuse to give up when obstacles stand in their way. Legacy is written by individuals who continue striving even when success seems distant and challenges appear overwhelming. Every meaningful achievement carries a story of struggle behind it. Great leaders, innovators, and reformers often faced rejection, criticism, and repeated failure before they saw progress. Their journeys were not smooth or predictable. They encountered barriers that could have convinced them to stop. Yet what distinguished them was their refusal to surrender. Persistence transformed temporary defeat into long-term accomplishment. Refusing to give up does not mean ignoring difficulty. It means confronting difficulty with resilience. When setbacks occur, discouragement is natural. Doubt may whisper that effort is pointless or that change is impossible. In these moments, perseverance becomes an act of courage. Choosing to continue despite uncertainty strengthens character and builds inner resolve. Each time a person rises after falling, they add another chapter to their legacy. On a personal level, legacy is not limited to public recognition or historical fame. It is also found in the quiet influence individuals have on their families, communities, and workplaces. A teacher who continues guiding students despite limited resources leaves a legacy of inspiration. A parent who works tirelessly to provide stability for their children builds a legacy of love and sacrifice. A community member who consistently advocates for fairness shapes a legacy of integrity. These acts may not appear in history books, yet they create lasting impact. Refusal to give up also inspires others. When people witness perseverance in the face of adversity, they are encouraged to persist in their own challenges. Determination spreads hope and builds collective strength. One person's resilience can motivate an entire group to continue striving for improvement. In this way, legacy expands beyond individual accomplishment and becomes a shared story of courage. Moreover, persistence often reveals strengths that remain hidden during easier times. Adversity tests patience, creativity, and faith. As individuals navigate obstacles, they discover abilities they did not know they possessed. Growth occurs through struggle, and this growth shapes the depth of one's contribution to the world. The hardships endured become part of the testimony of resilience. Legacy is not defined by the absence of failure, but by the refusal to let failure have the final word. Each attempt, each effort, and each renewed commitment contributes to a broader narrative of determination. Those who persist demonstrate belief in their purpose and dedication to their values. History remembers not only victories, but also the courage that sustained the journey toward them. The stories that endure are those of individuals who stood firm when retreat seemed easier, who continued striving when applause was absent, and who chose endurance over surrender. Their perseverance carved paths for others to follow and shaped a future built upon resilience and conviction. So let us remember that hope is not a distant dream, but a living force within us. It is born in struggle, strengthened by unity, sustained by faith, guided by love, and proven through courage. And when we refuse to give up, when we choose to stand together, when we act with conviction and compassion, we do more than overcome obstacles. We shape the future. History is not only written by kings or presidents, it is written by ordinary people who decide that injustice will not have the final word. It is written by those who dare to believe that their voice matters, their actions matter, and their perseverance matters. Every step taken in faith, every act of courage, every stand for what is right becomes a line in the story of humanity. Let us walk forward with hearts full of hope, hands joined in unity, and spirits anchored in love. Let us be the generation that does not wait for change, but creates it. And when future generations look back, may they say that in a time of challenge and uncertainty, we did not surrender to fear. We chose hope, and hope wrote our names in history.